Well, I'm Bethany, and I just wanted to get China to tell her story a little bit about buying her first home, and actually you built, didn't you? Yeah. So what was the process of deciding, one, to get a home, but even deciding to build instead of buy something that was already constructed?
Yeah, so me and my husband, we were living in an apartment and we were just driving through a neighborhood just for fun. And it was the newest developed neighborhood in our town. Our lease was so far away, and so we were not planning on anything. We walked in there, we were like, okay, this oddly seems like it would fit into our budget. And so we looked at property lots, and they had basically said, it was the end of the year, it's December, and they're like, the property is gonna go up about 10,000 on one day. This was on like a Thursday. And I was like, is that real? And our realtors were like, yeah, that's real. And so I was like, okay, like let me pray about it. So we had like 2 days to pray about it, and came back and we were like, we oddly have a lot of peace about it. So we signed, and we had 4 to 6 months build time. And so our lease was supposed to be out in August. This was December. And so we ended up closing in June. Or no, we closed May 15th, and that's when we moved in. But yeah, we that was never the plan. Like our plan was like to buy a house in August, like to look in July and move in August. And so it happened way faster because we figured out we actually could be like what our rent is could be our mortgage, and we could just swap those and own something and have equity and have that turn around to be something that's value for our family. And so that's a decision that we came to, that we talked with a mortgage lender, and he was like, you guys can do this. And we were like, you feel like children buying a house. And so we've lived in our house for a couple weeks now, and it's a project. I thought we would just like move in and everything would be great, but we actually immediately like ripped up our carpet and put down our own flooring because it was cheaper to do it that way for the building. So I mean, we had to choose like our layouts, our like if we wanted upgrades and all those different things, which was, I felt like I was being spoiled for my first like house buying. But we looked in our area and there was nothing. And like coincidentally, it was during the whole pandemic, and so nobody was really wanting to sell their houses. And so we were like, okay, well, we're not gonna buy someone else's house, we'll just build one. And that's what we did, and we love it.
It sounds like you made a decision really quickly, like within like a couple days.
Yeah.
What did that look like behind the scenes?
Honestly, it was, me and my husband are very different in how we operate. I'm like, I know what I want, let's do it. And he's like, well, we need to like take into logic and real life for a second. And so we balance each other really well in that. But ultimately, we were like, if we miss this opportunity, we could potentially like not pick another lot in that property. Like our neighborhood's completely filled out. They're building phase, like the other phases of it, but like we wouldn't have had that opportunity if we would have chosen to stay in our apartment until August and then look at other things. Our apartment actually worked with us so we could break our lease mutually, which was amazing. But people in our apartments don't realize that. You can actually work with them and get out of your apartment so that you can be in a home, and what you're paying rent-wise. Our mortgage is only $100 more than what we were paying rent, which is crazy.
That's crazy.
And we were like, this is our like home, this is equity, and this is generational wealth. And that was a no-brainer.
Yeah. And rent tends to go up every year or two.
Yeah.
And your mortgage will be the same. So
Yeah.
30 years.
Yeah.
Rates that are 30 years inflated, you'll have paid off your house.
Right.
Which is amazing.